Okay, this is take 2. I feel like we're looking a little bit better, even though I'm a little bit too close to the camera, but we're gonna make it work. Welcome back to I'm Sick still, all through Christmas. It's great. I'm loving it. It's the best. As you can see, it's probably not the best. And also I'm gonna try and wash this out a little bit because I don't know if you can tell. It's a little bit blue. I think you can see it a little bit, but I think it'll fade the more I wash it out. As for here and now, I'm just trying to bring it out a little bit more with blue clothes, my blue lips. This is actually a black lip, but I've made it blue with eyeshadow and other stuff that's probably not supposed to go on my mouth. I am gonna do something a little bit different, and I wanted a little bit of change of scene from my normal like little corner that I sit in. I wanted to do more of a focus on this place today. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm really lost. This is gonna be an all over the place I'm just talking to you video. I messed up my fucking nail. Great. Awesome. Love it. I didn't take forever to do these nails. No, it wasn't like I took forever to do these nails. I'm not mad. Why would I be mad? But yeah, this is gonna be like a I'm just talking. I'm just a friend who's rambling. Oh man, I like really fucked it up. Can you see that? Look at it. It's not even gonna focus. Jesus. So at the beginning of this year, I'm sorry, that was a whole like 30 seconds of me ranting. I'll stop. So at the beginning of this year, I did a New Year's resolution video. And it wasn't on this channel, it was actually on a different account, and it's an unlisted video, so you can't see it. It's meant to be unlisted. I made it unlisted. Nobody's ever gonna see it again. Literally only the people with the link at that specific time were able to access it. I have since not linked it to anyone else. But I did a New Year's resolution video and I set some targets for this year, 2018. And it, for the most part, I was able to fulfill most of the things that I wanted to get done this year. So I thought that I would review the things that I wanted to do and also, you know, discuss like some of the experiences I had, because I think for a lot of people 2018 wasn't too great, but for me in general, I think it was a good year for me. I feel like I got a lot of things done in 2018. And I don't know how long this video is gonna run. As you know, I'm a chatty bitch. I don't know how to shut my face, so it's probably gonna run for a while. Always remember that you can speed up the video in the settings. It's always possible to speed it up or slow it down if for some reason you have 5 hours to kill and you want to listen to me for that long. But winter, for at least the last, I want to say like 10 years of my life, winter has always been a time for change. Good things have happened in winter, bad things have happened in winter, but it's always been like a life-changing thing that happens in winter, every single winter. And winter for me ranges from like September to February. Like that's what I consider winter, and in those months every single year something new has happened. For example, my mother died in winter. She died in December. I left my dad's house, which was a really abusive situation for me, in winter. You know, I moved into my own place in winter. Winter has always been a time for change, almost like a drastic life change for me. So I find it really important to reflect on the things that I got done, on the things that I achieved, and on the things that maybe I could have done a little bit better at. And yeah, so I wanted to review some things that I set for myself this year. And spoiler alert, I did manage to do most of them. A couple of them I need to improve on, but for the most part I accomplished most of them. And I'm going to set some new targets soon. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait for the new year to come in before I do any of that. But as the year is ending, I thought it'd be nice to end it on what did I do this year. So in terms of last year, I've got it all written down. In terms of last year, I'll discuss my targets and then like add some stuff on. So my targets for last year, the first one was to get a new job, because at that time I was working in a college, and it was very, very stressful for me. It was one of the most stressful things I've ever had to do. I had two of the most stressful students, nearly, I think, like 4 days a week, and they drove me absolutely insane. I had nightmares about the girl. The boy was almost stalker levels of creepy. And I work with students who have some disabilities, so I'm not trying to be ableist or anything. I just genuinely, I've been in this business, I've been working with people with disabilities, mental health issues, all kinds of things for about 4 years, and I have never had such a tough time. I had worked with them for nearly, I want to say like 7 months, and I was at a point where I was emotionally tired, I was physically tired, I was losing my mind, I was having incessant nightmares about both of them. I had to move. I had to move, and also I wanted to get a slightly higher paying job, because while I loved the atmosphere in that work, despite having those students, I loved the type of work and I loved the atmosphere in that college. While I did love that, it didn't really pay me enough for me to move into my own place, and I really wanted to have my own place, which was another thing that I wanted to get accomplished this year, but we'll get into that. So I actually managed to get 3 jobs this year. Two of them were in the same place, so we'll count it as one. We'll say 2 jobs. I worked with a company, and it's always very difficult to explain this company. I worked with a company who managed like other bigger companies, CSR, corporate, like giving, spending, and things like that, which was an interesting experience. And it initially was an apprenticeship, which I will again get into later. But I got into that job, and I worked with them up until last month, actually, up until about November. And the setting wasn't really for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't really enjoy the admin work. Again, I will get into that later. But I did that, and then later, once September kicked in, I started working in colleges again. And I think I'm going to be doing that for a while, if I'm completely honest. But it's a different college. I also worked in social media for a little bit, and I'm looking to find some part-time gigs in that as well. Because I really enjoy doing that. I live on the internet. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's one of my hobbies and something that I feel like I'm really good at as a millennial in the 21st century. But yeah, my second goal for this year was to get my own place, which you can see I've more or less accomplished. And the reason why I did that is actually in a different video. I'm not going to link it down below. It's the first video I posted on this channel. It was due to family problems and just sort of saying, fuck it, I'm going alone. Because it was becoming way too much. It was becoming too much, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I got my own place, and I'm actually really enjoying it. The third thing is like something I feel like I'm going to put in every resolution, was to have as many experiences as possible, and I'll dive into that again later. The fourth thing that I really wanted to do this year was visit my mother's grave, which I did. I made a video about it as well. It was the only current art video I have up, but I did that late this year, but earlier on, I think it was in October or November. And that was a really eye-opening experience, and I'm really happy I did that, and it's going to be a frequent occurrence from now on for me to go there and just talk to my mum, I guess. Another thing I wanted to do this year was move to the US, which didn't happen, and we will talk about that. I also intended to eat healthier and exercise. I did actually get a lot of exercise in this year. I frequently went to the gym up until October, which is when I moved out of my old house. So I went at least once a week, every week. It was good. I got a lot of planks in, I got a lot of squats in, I got a lot of swimming done. I did a lot of exercise, but the eating healthy thing, I tried a lot of stuff. I tried dieting, I tried fit teas, I tried going to a dietitian, and she was just like, oh, just eat regularly. That's your task. I was like, okay. I tried a lot of things. I'm gonna try again because you know, I have so much time now living by myself, and I'm definitely gonna try again to get in shape and get healthy. I definitely feel better in my body. Besides the fact that I've been sick for about 2 weeks, but I don't think that's got anything to do with what I'm eating. And I also have a little bit more rein on what I'm purchasing to eat now. So I think we'll see how that goes. You'll definitely get an update next year about how that's gonna go. My spending habits, they've gotten better. They've gotten significantly better from last year, where I was just spending shit left, right, and center. They've gotten way better this year. I think the biggest probably purchase that I made this year was getting into modeling, which again I'll talk about later. But other than that, I feel like I've done a good job in not spending too much money. I feel like I would have to go into the records, but I feel like I've done a good job in denying myself things that I don't need. Like, straight up. Being open to new opportunities, talk about that later. Being more open to confrontation and emotional sharing, yes. Actually, I've been a lot more emotionally available. I haven't been pushing anything down. I've been confronting things, even if not immediately. I've been confronting them, which I feel like is an improvement to just not confronting anything ever. Which was just my solution to everything before. It was just, if you don't confront it, it's not there. So I've definitely done that. And my last resolution for this year was to pet every dog that I came across and felt like I wouldn't annoy the owner. And I think I did it more proactively at the beginning of the year, but it's definitely been lessening in this month specifically. But I think that's more to do with the fact that dogs are very cold and nobody's been bringing them out, and if they are out, they're in coats, so it's been wet, so I didn't really feel like doing it. But I have been actively petting dogs. But in addition to all of those, I also had a lot of new experiences this year, which I wanted to share. This right at the beginning of this year, I remember it so clearly, and it's going to be something very difficult for me to forget because it was one of the stupidest things that happened this year. Maybe one of the stupidest things that happened in my life, but then there's a lot of stupid things that happen in my life, so don't hold me to that. But definitely in this year, it was one of the stupidest things that happened. It was my first breakup because of the first tattoo I ever got. And I made videos about this last year as well, or earlier this year, but they're on that other channel that you're never gonna see it. It was terrible. But it was my first breakup, and the guy I had been dating, I'm gonna not name drop because I've let that go. I've let the pettiness go, so I'm not gonna name him. We'll just call him. Let's call him Derek. Derek sounds like a dickish name. Derek, I was with him for nearly 3 years. He lived abroad. And that was why I wanted to move to the US this year, was to be with him. And we were filing for me to go there, and we were nearly done. But I had gotten a tattoo and he broke up with me over that. And I have held I was mad about it, obviously. A lot of people around me were upset about it. Simon was upset about it. Alicia was upset about it. My closest friends were very, very upset about it. And it's been crazy, but that was something new that I experienced. I'd never felt that kind of heartbreak before. And, I'm not just going to list all the good things that happened to me. I like to list things that sort of changed my life. Like that's my whole thing. Like I like things that change my life. I don't know. I like memories. I'm very sentimental, and even if they're bad things, I like thinking about them and sort of processing them, so I never have to really look over them again. But I had my first breakup. It was a mess, and you think a breakup is hard, as it is, and it is. But try doing that when none of your family members, whose house you live in, are aware that you're dating someone abroad and you were planning to move abroad, and then you broke up with this person after 3 years and you can't even express it. You have to keep a facade just awake that just nothing is wrong. Like you have to keep that on your face after 3 years of dating this person, and this person drops you literally for getting a tattoo that's like this big on your thigh. It was one of the craziest things that could have possibly happened to me. But I got my first tattoo. I got a tattoo on my knee and I got a tattoo on my arm. Those things are all on my Instagram. All the links are down below. You can look at them and admire them there. I went on my first real date. As I said, Derek and I, we were only dating. We were only dating online. I had met him online. I had only met him in person once for about 14 days. And I had never actually been on a real date, like going to meet someone for the first time and getting to know them. And I did that this year. I've done everything backwards. I had the whole relationship and marriage like set up. That was all done, but I'd never gone on a real date, and I did that this year a few times. I went on a few dates with a bunch of people off Tinder, and that's going to be a whole other video. Tinder is a mess, and I would like to make a video about it. And through my like dating stuff, like the whole dating shtick that I went through, I actually ended up exploring a lot of cities. I went to High Wycombe, I went to Cambridge, I went to what was that other place? Reading. I went to a lot of different places to date these people. I went to Reading a few times. I went to Reading like 4 times, and stayed in a hotel and whatever. It was a good experience. I'm not with any of those people, so I'm definitely gonna make a video about all the different people I met off Tinder, because I think that would be an interesting thing to do. I went to Comic-Con this year. I fully intend to go to Comic-Con every year because it's always great. This year it was even more amazing because it was sunny and we were out in the back with all the people, and I took a picture with Wolverine, and I think it's on my Instagram. If it is not, I'm going to put that up there today because I love that picture. I started an apprenticeship. I started an apprenticeship at the beginning of the year. It did not work out because it was an admin apprenticeship and I didn't like admin. It didn't suit me. I was falling asleep. My boss recognized it and she was like, yeah, you need to get out of that. So after I sort of cut that apprenticeship, and oh my god, nobody go to Uxbridge College. I'm sorry, I am shading the fuck out of you and I'm dragging your name. Uxbridge College was currently merged with Harrow College. Nobody go to Uxbridge College. It sucks. I hated it. I hated the teachers. I hated their entire program. Nobody go there. It's a terrible college. I hate it. I don't know if that's going to bring me trouble, but I'll deal with it when I get to it. But I cut that whole course in half. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is bullshit. And I started a degree with Open University. It's social psychology. People keep asking me that. And they're like, what's that? And like with everything in my life that I have to explain, this is another thing I have to explain. So it's part sociology, part psychology, and you put them together and it's a psychology degree. It's great. I'm really enjoying it. My psychology books just came in. I am nearly done with the sociology bit for this year. It's great. I recommend Open University to anybody. Like, they are amazing. Like, you think that it's just like they throw some books at you and you have to study alone. First of all, I don't mind that. I did that throughout all of sixth form, which is like high school in America. I did that. I studied most of my subjects by myself. But they have tutorials, they have tutors that you can call almost at any point in the day, on the weekend, whenever. They have uni days that they hold at the LSE and probably some other locations. They're great. Like, I love Open University and I'd recommend it to anyone. But I remember saying in that video from the beginning of this year, which was my resolutions video, that I would not even think about a degree. And, you know, I feel like that's such a big thing for me that I went ahead and did this degree, which was accepting opportunities. Like, I went ahead and did it, and it was great. Like, I narrowed down all the things that I wanted to do, cut out all the things that I thought were a little bit useless. Like, I didn't want to do a literature degree because I knew I'd be sitting at home with no job for forever. I cut out the history degree. I cut out a lot of things. And I was like, you know what? I like sociology and I like psychology, but I don't like too much of both. So let's put them together. Done. Finished. Done. So other than that, I talked about work. I went to a gay club a few times this year, and I'm never going back to a club unless somebody is on their deathbed and I have to go. But I went gay clubbing this year, which was on my bucket list, so that's good. I'm in a new long-term relationship with Ed, who is wonderful. I went to a convention called Discover Dogs. Literally the greatest thing that has ever happened after the Big Bang. Like, the greatest thing that has ever happened following the beginning of life on this planet. Like, it is the... You have to come to this event next year. It is literally an event for dogs. There was a dog of almost every breed that you could inquire about and pet and play with. I held so many of them. I'm just like excited for this year. It was in October. I'm excited from now to go this year. Like in 2019. Like, I'm ready. It was one of the best things I've ever been to, and I'm so excited to go in 2019. The other thing that's written here is that I started this channel, and I'm really enjoying it, and I have a few more things planned for next year, a few more people to involve. I published 2 of my stories. One is One Man's Treasure and the other one is Over the Hills and Far Away. The links for those are down in the description if you want to check them out. They're on Spotify, Google Play, and another, it's on Movellas obviously. But they're on Spotify and Google Play mainly. And I think there's a trailer for One Man's Treasure which should also be down there. I don't know if it is. I will check and I will update it. It's going to be down there. I did modelling this year. There are some pictures up on Instagram, which is @faye_ramen. You can check those out. I've been doing bits and pieces here and there for modelling. I'll talk about it in a whole other video. It's an interesting experience, and I know for a fact that I am in a short clip of tomorrow's Super Shoppers, which is going to be at 8 p.m. on the 27th of December, which I'm going to miss because it's Ed's birthday tomorrow. But I will watch it on 4OD or whatever. But you guys should check it out. I'm like in a very short clip. I'm in the Deal or No Deal part of it, so you can check that out if you want. There's another one that I want to watch and react to because it drove me insane, called Eating with My Ex, which is going to start next year. But I'll remind me about that one. I and Ed both did Sober for October for Macmillan, and we raised over £300, which is insane. But it was an amazing experience. We got to do a lot of things. We got to go to the arcade. We got to go to Discover Dogs. It was great. And I hope that next year, if we do it again, we'll have the same lineup. Because it was amazing. It was the best thing that, you know, Ed had done and I had done in a long time. Like, I could not imagine raising that much money. The most money I've raised was for Dogs Trust on my birthday this year, and I think that was about £80 to £100. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was something like that. I shaved part of my head, believe it or not, which I'm very happy about, and I'm gonna keep doing. I don't even know if you saw that. Can you see that? Can you see it? I don't know. I feel really silly. but I shaved part of my head, and I'm gonna keep doing that because it actually feels really nice. And the last thing that I put here for some reason was that I spent Christmas alone, and it was decent. I didn't mind it. I recorded a video, I got a lot of things done, I ate a lot of junk food, I ordered a lot of food. This is going to be my custom from now on. If there's a special occasion and I have to spend it alone or with like one person, I'm gonna order food because food makes me happy, TBH. Just real talk. Food is food. Food is food 2018, Faye Ramen. It's a great inspirational quote. But those are the things that I did this year. And I hope that next year, well, I'm going to make a whole other video about what I'm going to do next year. Or what I intend to do next year. But it's going to be great. I had a really... Well, the beginning of this year was kind of shit because of my breakup. But, you know, this year has been amazing for me. The amount of things that I've been able to achieve. I published a book. I moved out on my own. I'm living an adult life and I feel great about it. So this is 26 minutes now. I can see the timer and it's telling me you gotta turn this off, bitch, or we're gonna run over time. Like, share, subscribe. You're millennials just like me. I don't need to tell you anything. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna post it everywhere and I hope you see it. And if you have any suggestions for what I should do or what you want me to talk about in terms of what I've experienced this year, please do let me know. Luke, I have a feeling you're watching this. If you are, I want you to edit my videos because it infuriates me and my laptop is not... Well, I can edit if I really want to. It just takes like 6 hours. Legit. It takes up half my waking day to edit a video. So if you, I know you offered to do that, and if you still really want to do it, you can do it. The thing is, I can't pay you. I have no money to pay you. I'm not loaded yet. I haven't made that revenue of AdSense. I need 4,000 subscribers. So, or 1,000 and 4,000 views or something like that. But yeah, this is my video for today. Next week I'll be making a video of my New Year's resolutions and what I expect from 2019. Thank you for being here with me for the last almost 30 minutes and for listening to me just talk about my year. And it's been great. I'm so excited for 2019. And I hope you all are too. And I hope you've had a wonderful day and a wonderful Christmas. And New Year's is coming up. It's gonna be lit. But I'm gonna turn off now before I ramble even more. 28 minutes. See you in the next one.